to chew on. The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International for a brand new week. It is Monday, January the 22nd, 2024, and this is program number 1125 of the Lunchroom. I'm your host, Calix George Jr. Now, in addition to radio on 101.1 FM radio, you can get us at our website. It is rcistlucia.com. And you can always download our previous shows on our website. Again, rcistlucia.com. We're also running on Facebook. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. We're streaming live there right now. And of course, be sure to like and share that link, please, with your friends and family. If you want to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, the number to do so, again, is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046, as well as our WhatsApp number. That is 724-0008. You can call in or message in on WhatsApp. And again, the number is 724-0008. Some birthday greetings going out today. First to Mr. Desi Ferdinand. Happy birthday to you. And we're wishing you an absolutely fantastic birthday celebration, Desi. Also sending birthday greetings to Mrs. Jasmine Lee. Happy birthday to you, Jasmine. And we do hope that you're having a wonderful and enjoyable celebration. We also want to send some birthday greetings to Miss Melissa Stacy Giddings. Happy birthday to you, Stacy. And we do hope that you're having a wonderful birthday. Hope it's a great one for you. And as well, some birthday greetings going out to Miss Lisa Weeks. Happy birthday to you. And we do hope that you're having an ecstatic birthday celebration. Now, a bit of history for today. In the year 1506, the first contingent of 150 Swiss guards arrived at the Vatican. In the year 1905, on this day, in St. Petersburg, Russia, a large demonstration of workers led by Father Gapon marched to the Winter Palace with a petition to the Tsar, with troops being fired on protesters in what became known as Bloody Sunday in Russia. 1973, on this day, saw a landmark decision of the United States Supreme Court which legalized most abortions in what is known as Roe v. Wade, authoring the majority opinion, that person was Harry Blackman, who stated that the criminalization of abortion does not have the quote-unquote roots in the English common law tradition. And we now move on to our dish of the day. The daily dish is really the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. There's all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got glassware and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lance Road in Castries, Bosses Grozile, and Flax Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to our program here at the Lunchroom. And we do hope that you're having a blessed beginning of the week. I hope it's a great one thus far. Now, we have, of course, in St. Lucia been marking for the month of January the Nobel Laureate Festival. Previously, it had really started off as being just about a day, and then maybe it expanded somewhat to become a week. And now it certainly has taken the form of almost a month of various celebrations and activities to commemorate the pride and contribution that two gentlemen made to St. Lucia and to the world by them winning the Nobel Prizes for economic sciences and literature, respectively. And it just so happens that they were born on the same day, January the 23rd, but 15 years apart. In the first instance, Sir William Arthur Lewis was born in Castries to George and Ida Lewis. They were both, in fact, originally out of Antigua and came to St. Lucia. In the first instance, his father coming to St. Lucia and working as a teacher here, coming out of one of those Micro institutes which had been established in the Caribbean, one being established in Antigua. And so in those very early days, St. Lucia was short of teachers, and certainly qualified teachers, and he was one of those who came to St. Lucia, and in fact taught all over the island in many different schools, from the Crownland School, what I suppose has eventually become the Bexar School, to schools in canals. And in those days, you would find that a number of the schools were actually set up on the estates in those very, very early days. And so he was, in fact, one of those very early individuals to come. And then he later on got married, and so joined his wife. And of course, they raised a number of children, a number of boys, and of course, who all have made a number of different contributions, both here in St. Lucia and abroad, including, of course, as we mentioned, Sir William Arthur Lewis, but his brother, Sir Alan Lewis, who also became the Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, also went on to become Governor General of St. Lucia, was also one of the founding members back in the 1950s of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and other brothers who went on to make contributions even as far as Ghana, the Gold Coast as it was at the time, in the cocoa industry there, and even here in St. Lucia as well, others making contributions in other pursuits in accounting and what have you. So certainly we remember the contributions of Sir William Arthur Lewis this week, and of course the numerous institutions which he in fact helped build and helped found or helped grow, and many of them, of course, he made even before that, making a contribution outside of the Caribbean, being a very early contributor to the development, of course, academically, of his theories, economic theories for development economics, dual economy theory, his contribution to the development of Ghana as well, being the person who wrote the first 5-year development plan under President Kwame Nkrumah. And of course, coming back to the Caribbean and being a vital instrument here as well in the establishment of the Caribbean Development Bank, of course, an institution which continues up to this day. His work with the University of the West Indies, heading that institution when it was in fact just still a university college of the West Indies, degree still being granted by University of London in those days, on behalf of the University College of West Indies, assisting in the establishment of the St. Augustine campus, and encouraging the establishment of the Cave Hill campus in Barbados. And so, of course, right here in St. Lucia, the community college being named in his honor, and, of course, the place of his final rest to this day. And the other gentleman, born in, well, a set of twins, actually, with his brother Roderick. We speak of Derek Alton Walcott, who was born on January 23rd in the year 1930. And going a different path, being more a man of letters than of numbers, And certainly his words and his constructs, whether through poetry, whether through his wondrous and voluminous works, such as Omeros and so many others, his plays, which he crafted over the years, certainly have brought very much joy and pride to the Caribbean civilization, and the fermenting and understanding and appreciation of what it is to be St. Lucian and what it is to be West Indian. And of course, even from the start, from his very early days teaching at St. Mary's College, just as a junior master, penning works which we remember to this day, capturing the aftermath of the 1948 fire of Castries through his poem A City's Death by Fire. And of course, going on to Jamaica, and then going on to work in Trinidad and Tobago, and his contributions working through newspapers, as well as establishing his own theater over there, the Trinidad Workshop Theater, and his work in academia, and continuing into places like Boston and in the United Kingdom as well, has certainly placed him as one of the greatest poets and writers of his time. And we are certainly very blessed again to have such genius, who was in fact born right here in St. Lucia, in the person of Derek Alton Walcott. And of course his brother as well, we should mention, Roderick Walcott, was also a very active practitioner of the arts, and from very many different ways, and staying in St. Lucia, making a contribution here through the establishment of a Department of Culture, and himself also writing numerous musicals, which to this day we still enjoy, and of course are still being utilized in such a wonderful way. So certainly there is and continues to be much to celebrate with respect to the contribution of these two giants in what they have done, not just in the field of academia and in the fields of higher intellect, but certainly the practical things that they engaged in, and to this day we can still appreciate. Sometimes we don't even know that we're enjoying them, but certainly they have made immense contributions to this day. And hopefully, if we might decide to continue to look at their teachings and what they were hoping to achieve, we might learn certainly even more, and certainly can achieve a lot more. One of the still long-standing matters, no doubt, if he was still alive 7 years on from his death back in 2017, Sir Derek would still certainly be calling upon the need for having a proper national theatre, a proper space for the celebration of our culture, which we oftentimes are looking towards to be one of those areas where we have a competitive advantage by means of being able to export it. But in terms of the growth and development of it, the celebration of it right here on our island, we are still not where we need to be by way of the infrastructure, the cultural infrastructure that needs to be in place to be able to support the programming, to support the work of many individuals who are still working very hard in that cultural vineyard to bear fruit. And we're seeing the fruit, but perhaps we could certainly be doing a lot more at this point. Maybe we are eating the fruits, but perhaps we could, in fact, be making wine and who knows what else, other byproducts, if in fact we had some infrastructure to support more what is certainly there. And so with respect to the activities for this Nobel Laureate Month, as I said, there have been some ongoing activities. There are, of course, lots of stuff online and on programs on Calabash TV celebrating the excellence of the Nobel laureates. There's also an ongoing exhibition, which in fact is going to end, I think, tomorrow, and that's happening at the Castries City Hall on Pena Street, and that's being put on by St. Lucia photographer, an exhibition of photographs by Chester Williams being displayed in 3 sections based on the motto of St. Lucia, the land, the people, the light. And it, in fact, comprises images of photographs which he has taken over several years. And so no doubt that should be very interesting to enjoy and see St. Lucia through the lens or the many lenses of Mr. Chester Williams, one of St. Lucia's most noted photographers. There's also has been, I should mention, there was a Commonwealth essay competition award ceremony which was held last week Saturday, painting people in a village setting, and that has been an ongoing activity being put on by a gentleman who has certainly adopted St. Lucia as his home, Mr. Jonathan Gladding, a realist painter who has certainly ensured that we can see Labrie in so many different hues, and so capturing now various settings and buildings has been one of the efforts that he has been pushing, and so we certainly thank him and all those who are taking on that aspect of memory at this time. Moving beyond that, the Celebrating Excellence is highlighting literacy, artistic, and cultural achievements. That was put on at Babonneau over last week, Wednesday. And, of course, into this week, tomorrow is going to be the traditional Sir Derek Walcott Memorial Lecture. And that is being delivered by Dr. Travis Weeks with the theme, What the Twilight Keeps Saying, following the gaze of Derek Walcott. Very interesting theme there. And of course, we would also know that Derek was also an artist, and quite often enjoyed capturing images from Gros Islet to from his own home, images of the sea, images of the shorelines. And so interesting, that concept of following the gaze of Derek Walcott. It should certainly be very interesting. And of course, Dr. Travis Weeks is St. Lucian born, poet, playwright, and current theatre arts lecturer at the University of West Indies St. Augustine campus up at Gordon Street in Trinidad and Tobago. And his discourse examines Walcott's repeated use of the twilight in his poetry, a device he employs to highlight a vision for his people and country. And that is happening, as I said, tomorrow evening at 7:30 at the Finance Administrative Center in Point Seraphin. And we then move as well to an exhibition which is happening on Wednesday, and that is being put on by the St. Lucia National Archives Authority. It's part of its 30th anniversary as well, presenting a traveling exhibition in the first instance in the Castries City Hall. And it's their contribution to the Nobel Laureate Festival. And so you could enjoy and witness the lives of the Nobel laureates through that exhibition. And I believe that is, in fact, free. And it's happening from 10 o'clock on Wednesday at the Castries City Hall. Then on Thursday, the 25th of January at 7:30, again at the Finance Administrative Center at Point Seraphin, the Sir Arthur Lewis Memorial Lecture, and that is being delivered by another St. Lucian academic, Dr. James Fletcher. And it's under the theme, Navigating the Future, Applying the Teachings of Sir William Arthur Lewis to St. Lucia's 21st Century Development Challenges. Again, navigating the future, applying the teachings of Sir William Arthur Lewis to St. Lucia's 21st century development challenges. And Dr. James Fletcher is the managing director of his own company, Solorican Limited, which provides services in the areas of sustainable energy, climate change, water policy, information and communications technology, agriculture and public policy development, and founder of the Caribbean Climate Justice Project. During his tenure as Minister for Public Service, Sustainable Development, Energy, Science and Technology, Dr. James Fletcher led the Caribbean's delegation to the negotiations on the Paris Agreement in 2015 and was an integral part of the region's 1.5 to Stay Alive climate change civil society advocacy campaign. And so certainly we've seen quite a number of lectures by Dr. Fletcher, and this time he is in fact delivering the Sir William Arthur Lewis lecture. Very often we see lots of economists delivering that lecture, but I think we've seen a bit of a change of late. We're seeing certainly now some other individuals showing them the multidisciplinary nature of economics and development economics and sustainable development at this time. And so certainly a very welcome lecture to be had on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Finance Administrative Center. Of course, there will be the wreath laying, which is happening that's happening at the South Lewis Community College, as well as the Inniskillen Monument, and that's happening at 10 o'clock on Friday, this coming Friday, January the 26th. And again, both Nobel laureates are in fact interred up on the Morn, and so that will also feature a keynote speech delivered by Honorable Monsignor Dr. Patrick Angus Butcher Anthony Paba. Of course, lots of titles there. SLC, St. Lucia Cross. And it's also the 50th anniversary of the Monsignor Patrick Anthony Folk Research Center. So a big shout out to the Folk Research Center and the director, Raisa Joseph. And so Paba, who is going to be delivering the keynote at that event, which is also going to be attended by family and other specially invited guests and members of the college faculty and staff are going to be present for that ceremony. Of course, the South Lewis Community College is also the home of the Derek Walcott Library. So certainly they have a very important role in that entire context. In fact, they're continuing that celebration. In fact, there's an event called Celebrating SALCC Excellence. And that South Lewis Community College Day of Excellence is an opportunity to display the extraordinary talents possessed by both faculty and students. And there are going to be outdoor spaces to be transformed into art galleries, highlighting paintings and digital artwork. Literary talents will be displayed through poetry, readings, and storytelling sessions, while photos of outstanding sports teams, men and women, and of course, as we're talking about sports, again, kudos to our very own Julian Alfred, who was performed quite admirably over the weekend at the Martin Luther King Jr. Invitational athletics meet, which was held. So kudos to her as well. So this event coming up on Friday by the South Lewis Community College is also going to look at trying to give some space to the budding entrepreneurs on the campus. And of course, I suppose they're taking quick action to become part of the youth economy. So there will be some merchandise on sale and being exhibited. And that's happening following that wreath laying ceremony from about 12 o'clock into the afternoon, I think up until about 2 o'clock. And that's being put on, as I mentioned, by the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Now, also, the school which both gentlemen attended, that of the St. Mary's College. They are also putting on the St. Mary's College Literary Night, and that is happening also on Friday in the evening at 7 o'clock, and that is going to be at the St. Mary's College Auditorium. It's entitled Blazing the Trail Towards Excellence, and there is, I believe, a small charge of $25, small contribution of $25 for persons who are in fact going to be attending that program. It's usually quite excellent. Last year certainly was a wonderful performance. No doubt about it, it'll be $25 would probably be far short of the cost of what you would be witnessing and enjoying on that evening. So we do hope that individuals can take that in. In fact, I believe part of it is going to be the walking tree, my understanding, and it's there's going to be a captivating play about two adventurous Sumerians who find themselves lost and trapped in the mystical, enchanted forest, courtesy of Papa Bois. As they navigate the otherworldly realm, they become entangled in the midst of a complex family feud among the forest's inhabitants. Amidst the enchanting backdrop, the play delves into significant themes, notably emphasizing the importance of friendship, as the two Sumerians rely on each other to navigate the perilous forest. The environment is a central element, highlighting the delicate balance between nature and human interaction, with the forest itself playing a character in the drama. So that's rather interesting there. For those of you who, I suppose, are fans of Lord of the Rings, and you've got the talking trees, the Ents, and people who like Groot. so it seems as if the tree as well is going to become part of the show, and certainly that's really interesting production, which will be part of that literary night being put on by the students of St. Mary's College, of course, the alma mater of both Sir William Arthur Lewis and Sir Derek Walcott. And as well, on Saturday at 4 o'clock, there's also going to be a Tipawal Kweyol. And a Tipawal Kweyol features an open-air spoken word soiree of original pieces from artists, showcasing both their oral and written skills in the Creole language. And in fact, there are going to be some awards for the best submitted written piece and best performance for the evening. And again, that is happening. So it's an open spoken word, and that's happening at the Heroes Park at Point Seraphine, I suppose around the Tougane, in that region there, along the John Compton Highway. That open space, I think there was a creche there recently for Christmas. So that's happening from 4 o'clock this coming Saturday. Again, a Tipawal Creole, a sort of an open word, spoken word soiree that is being put on the grass there. That's just near the Sanssouci Bridge on the waterfront. So certainly should be a very interesting way to, in fact, take in that weekend evening. Now, also, there's going to be a book launch, and that's being put on by the Folk Research Center, and it is called Icons, and it's a publication by John Robert Lee, and of course, many persons will know John Robert Lee, his association with the formerly with the Government Information Service. Of course, we know he has been publishing quite a lot, and also his association with the Folk Research Center as well, and the work he's done there. And he is putting on a book of new and selected poems, and he's also going to be providing some readings as well. And that is happening next week, Tuesday, the 30th. And that is also going to be happening in collaboration with the Folk Research Center, as I mentioned. The book, a very interesting one. The cover of the book, interestingly, is it comes from an image which was found just after the the whole situation with the Royal Jail, and when there was an earlier attempt at demolishing it. There was a visit by a number of individuals to try to see, well, what could be captured in terms of the memory of that space. And within one of the cells, there was, in fact, a very interesting symbol, which sometimes is associated with the Star of David. And so you've got or two triangles, or effectively coming together, and the imagery there. Some people see it as associations with divinity, and a divine male and a divine female symbol, one representing a female and the other representing a male, and so also being very important to individuals of the Rastafarian faith as well, and their interpretation of it. And so that symbol was actually on the wall in that jail cell, in the old Royal Jail. And in fact, Mr. Lee has taken it, and it is in fact part of the front cover of his new publication. So very, very, very interesting indeed. And so if you want to catch that, that's happening at the Old Anglican School Annex up at Trinity Church Road next week, Tuesday, from 7 o'clock. Also, the 16th Annual Awards of Excellence, of course, that's happening as part of the Ministry of Education's role in terms of recognizing the very successful performance of many students at different levels, at the CPEA, at the CXC, at CAPE, and so on. And that'll be happening at Sandals Grand on Thursday, the 1st of February at 10 o'clock. There's also a Sagicor Schools Choir competition, which is going to be on already. That's also happening at St. Mary's College on Friday the 2nd. And also the 8th Annual Patricia Ismond Literary Workshop, and that's in collaboration with UE Global Campus. And the theme there, the significance of dramatic devices in the various elements of play construction. And if you're so interested in that, that's being facilitated by UE Global Campus. The lead facilitator, Mr. Kendall Hippolyte. And that workshop, of course, is dedicated to the memory of the St. Lucian literary icon and long-serving UE lecturer, Dr. Patricia Ismond, PhD, in whose name a generous posthumous scholarship for St. Lucian students attending the University of the West Indies has been established. And that'll be on Friday, the 9th of February, 2024. And that, again, happening up from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 at the UE Global Campus. That's up on the Morn. And so that, in fact, is the last activity on the list of events on for the Nobel Laureate Festival. Quite a lot to take in. And so let's hope that you'll be able to take in at least one of these various events. Or even better, try to take in all of them if possible. That's our dish of the day. When we come back, we'll be taking in your calls.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. With all kind of tiles, come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasway and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Joux Grosile, and Flag Street in Dufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Island style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island style, whoa. We got the time that will make you happy.
and ground. Everything you need to sort the house out. For the best price and the latest style, take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality, price, service, choice. It's all an Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus, Rodney Bay, on the John Compton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewfort Highway. Or call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
So of course, 1.1 is now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bar. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east and east-northeast near 25 miles per hour or 41 kilometers per hour with occasional gusts. The weather partly cloudy and windy, becoming cloudy at times with some light to moderate showers. And there is an advisory in here which reads small craft operators and sea beavers are advised to exercise caution due to brisk winds and locally rough seas. The forecast for the Los Angeles, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and windy with widely scattered showers. And the weather summary. The Atlantic high pressure system will continue to generate moderate to brisk easterly winds and locally rough seas across the Los Angeles during the next few days. Shallow patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will cause some cloudy intervals with light to moderate showers over the region during the next 24 hours. And this was the weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bar.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Island Style. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, we'll have to make the right choice. Island Style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island Style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive in Island Style.
We have tiles and thin sets, pieces and ground. Everything you need to sort the house out. For the best price and the latest style, take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality, price, service, choice. It's all an Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus, Rodney Bay, on the John Compton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewfort Highway. Or call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And I think we're going to go straight to the phone lines at this time to try to take in some calls. Good afternoon and welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today?
Good afternoon, Mr. George.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
How are you doing? How was your weekend?
Pretty good, thank you very much. How was yours?
Family all right?
They're very blessed. Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But did you in your news, did your news mention or did you comment at all on the happenings in the SLDB? No, I'm not SLB. CDB.
Oh no, I have not yet commented on that. No,
So
and I don't
nothing new
think
on it. I mean, from the time the news broke.
I have not seen any update beyond what was the stories that came out. Oh, actually, the only other update I think I noticed was that there was a mention regarding OECS leaders, I believe.
But you don't think that reflects a poor lack of of urgency, given the esteem and the importance of an institution like that?
A lack of urgency on the part of
letting people know what's going on. Transparency and accountability. I mean, why all the time? To even say something?
Well, from what we are
Like
being
what
told,
we're trying to do or whatever, how we reacting, how we responding, what there's something in place to investigate, you know?
well, no. From what we're being told, it seems that the action was taken, and the leaders or the board of governors apparently was not even aware of it, and that's what we were being
But
told.
that's let me tell you something. You see, that in itself is the more important than what the gentleman did or didn't do, because, you know, one would probably think that is something that is very critical that took place and in which he was involved that led to that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, the bigger picture, these kind of things are indicative of the demise of democracy, my brother. Because these institutions are the democracy. We found democracy is founded on these institutions. When you're talking about the Caribbean Development Bank, that's so critical to the development of the region, my brother. And to think that a group of men could usurp the prerogative of the people who have to make such decisions, which is the governor. These people didn't know that they were going beyond the bounds of their authority. Alex?
I don't know what they knew or they did not know, but clearly,
one,
what has transpired
just cannot
is
argue. One cannot argue that they didn't know, because if they didn't know, I shudder to think what kind of people we have on our boards. Because you see all these things. I won't say these things the death of democracy, because death is final, and we want to have a glimmer of hope, sometimes. But democracy alien, if every news item like that we get, our trust and our faith in these institutions. This gentleman was touted so highly, and praised so much for all his achievements and also over the years, and and a St. Lucian, and for us to be we don't even know, we have no idea. But we really think,
what is being reported by the Caribbean Media Corporation? In fact, they sent out something indicating that the OECS leaders expressed, and it's quote, utter shock and disappointment.
But they must. But what I'm saying is that the board. Something really. You don't think this thing is serious, and we just consider it's just another a slip or something.
No. I'm. It's clearly a very serious matter. Put it this way: certain people have taken actions within the institution. I'm not sure whether their actions are right or wrong. We have to wait to hopefully have the process of natural justice occur.
The process must take place. It must take and seem to be taking place, and it must be communicated to the media, who would consequently communicate it to us, so we would know that, and because this thing, the time lapse, the fact that this thing has happened, and that much we know already, is so disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
What we know already. So whatever investigation they're going to do, that is added, that is more exacerbate to what we know already. Because what we know already, Calix, is so concerning that the board, the prerogative has been usurped by the directorship, which have that's beyond the domain. They have no responsibility to do, or mandate to do what they did.
As far as we know, because we don't. I am not
but
privy.
But if the board, it's stated that the board that could make these decisions, not the board.
We know that the
governors.
The board of governors, as far as we understand, is the body that appoints the president of the institution, the bank.
There you go.
I don't know. What I'm saying is we don't know. I don't know what powers are provided to the board of directors.
But the way it's being communicated is that this what was done there. that the board of directors is not within their purview. You understand? It's the business of the governors to carry out directives like that too. You understand?
Well,
So,
again, we'll have to wait.
we'll
We'll have to wait and see, because I'm sure both sides have their points of view.
Yeah, you wait and see.
And I don't as yet know exactly who has the right in this instance.
And you wait and see, and you wait and see, and the time we wait in, everybody planning their vindication, how they have absorbed the absolution from the responsibility. That's what goes on. That's what goes on. And then our democracy dies a little more, and
well,
we move on.
It's a rules-based democracy, and I assume that in the case of
we move on.
the Caribbean Development Bank, it's a rules-based institution. We have to see what
the higher ups like not respecting their own rules. How they expect that the ordinary man to respect the rules they impose on him? They make their rules for themselves. They're not respecting it. So when they make their rules for us, they want us to respect it.
But my point, caller, is that rules sometimes have to be interpreted, right? And well, that's the thing. And in all these situations,
so come on, CDB. You think it's now CDB there, man? The rules have to be interpreted. You mean the directors misinterpret the rule?
Stranger things have happened, caller. I'm telling you, we don't.
If that be the case, then what does that say about the institution?
It says that it's a human institution. All institutions have issues, caller. So I mean, I don't know. I'm saying that we at this point, it's. Of course, it's not that a lot of institutions are there, and you still have issues in all institutions.
The citizens, it's an august organization, It's said to be virtuous something out there that extols is the paragon of because you're dealing with money, you're dealing with development, you're dealing with money, and you're dealing with Caribbean, right? And then you tell me there's so these lines of things not drawn so clear. You have the top legal people available to you when you shape in, the legal agenda of these people. Come on, man, and you tell me it's people.
Caller.
Yeah. Go on.
Have a good one, caller. Okay, then. Thanks very much. Now, let me just read out the CMC note just for clarity, because we can, of course, always be looking to interpret things, and we've got to see what is being said. Leaders of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, have expressed their utter disappointment and shock at the treatment being meted out to the embattled president of the Barbados-based Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Hyginus Jean Leon, who has been sent on administrative leave until April this year. The leaders of the sub-regional grouping met virtually on Friday night to discuss a situation that involves an ongoing administrative process, as announced by the region's premier financial institution earlier this week. Quote, the OECS leaders, had a meeting last night on the issue, informed sources told the CMC, adding, quote, and they expressed concern about it. They expressed concern at the treatment of the president. That's all that was decided, and they will meet further for more discussions. But they expressed grave concern as to the reputation of the bank and the treatment of the highest-ranking official. Quote, they expressed their utter disappointment and shock at the treatment of the president without even the knowledge of the governors, the sources told CMC, adding that not all the sub-regional leaders were present on Friday. Quote, some of the OECS leaders have joined the fray, the sources said, noting that among the leaders not present was the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, who is in Uganda attending the third South Summit of the Group of 77 and China, and that ends in Kampala on January 22nd. Earlier this week, well-placed sources told the CMC that Leo's computer and tablet were seized and that questions had been raised as to how the board of directors could have taken a decision against the bank's president, quote, without the knowledge of the board of governors. Quote, the president is the highest ranking official in the bank appointed by the board of governors, and the board has not been made aware of the situation at the bank, the sources told the CMC, adding, quote, the question is how is this possible for a lower body, which is the board of directors, to send the highest member of the bank without informing the board of governors, end quote. Another source told CMC on Saturday, quote, it is a fact that leaders on Friday night were very, very disturbed at the action of the directors. Quote, in fact, it is 3 directors, a subcommittee, the sources told CMC, without indicating who are the members of that subcommittee. According to the website of the CDB, the board of directors is responsible for the general policy and direction of the operations of the CDB. Quote, the board takes decisions concerning loans, guarantees, and other investments by CDB, borrowing programs, technical assistance, and other operations of the bank. It also approves the administrative budget of the bank and submits accounts for each financial year for approval by the board of governors. It appoints the Oversight and Assurance Committee, consisting of 5 of its members for a term of 2 years, with the option to renew for a further 2 years. The board comprises 14 directors who represent the regional members of CDB and 5 who represent non-regional members. Leo is the 6th president of the Regional Development Finance Institution. He was elected at a special meeting of the CDB Board of Governors held on January 19, 2021 for a 5-year term and assumed office on May the 4th, 2021. And that just gives you a general oversight of the context of what is ongoing. So in the construct of the CDB, there is in fact a board of governors, and then below that a board of directors, which in fact is more responsible for general policy and direction. And so that they do the actual working and workload of the entity, whereas the board of governors, they are principally the various representatives of states which make up the Caribbean Development Bank. And so, like I said, we have to see whether in fact they have the power to do what they're doing. And I suppose it'd be very strange for them to take action if they did not in fact believe that they had certain authority to do such. Let's take in another call at this time. Good afternoon and welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, caller. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. As a man, let me ask you a question. Do you think gender equality has an effect on the way of life of St. Lucia?
Gender equality, yes. It does have an impact on way of life. I would agree to that. I mean, for instance, how we raise our children is a good example of that. We sometimes want to raise boys differently from girls. Sometimes we, in fact...
I'm talking about finance.
You're talking about finance?
Yes, because I was on a program, listening to a program, and this gentleman felt that because of gender equality when it comes to pay, that's what is causing a lot of the problems in the country, because how it is a woman can get a lot more pay than a woman.
A man can get a lot more pay than a woman?
Yes. A woman is getting more pay than a man. This leaves a man feeling, like a lesser person when he has to work for a certain salary, sometimes that he's not even able to provide for his family, whereby the woman can get a big salary where she don't even need a man in her life.
That's a very strange comment to make. I'm not aware of situations where we have any kind of very clear or deliberate or direct imbalances when it comes to salaries for women and men. And invariably, in a lot of the conversations that are had around the world, it's actually the reverse that a lot of people are looking at. Now, in the case of St. Lucia, in fact, we do see that there are, it appears that there are now more females in head of department or head of agency or CEO level positions than males. But that has nothing to do with any kind of disparity in terms of what individuals are paid. I'm not sure how that point was raised.
Because what he was saying is that when you are the man in the house and you do not have the salary to provide for your family.
Oh, okay.
The problem, because maybe if the woman is getting more money than you, but he is finding that the men should be able to be getting a salary that they should be able to provide for their family, and that is his concern. Men are not being paid enough to provide for their family. But to me, it's not what a man brings to the table in the sense of money to provide their children. It's you. What is your depth? Do you have any morals or principle that your children can be guided along to have? Then it's not all about, to me, and to me it's not all about money. Because you may be able to provide, as a man, everything for your child. Send him to the most expensive, give him everything. But are you there to give him the guidance, to keep him grounded and all of those things? So that was the problem I had with the gentleman when he said, because men do not have the salary to take care of their families, because of this.
You see, it's I suppose in some instances, and you're seeing that, of course, now, and it's going to become a lot more prevalent as society continues to evolve, where you are quite likely going to be seeing a lot of households where the female member of the household or head of the household is in fact going to be the leading breadwinner. So you may very well find situations where you may have a house husband, just as we've had in the past, housewives. You may find that whole dynamic is shifting. Now, the issue that you have, though, is that we still have a lot of the very traditional concepts as to, well, what is the expectation of the male in the relationship, or what is the expectation of the husband in the household, right? He's the quote unquote is supposed to be the breadwinner, and so some of these traditional gender ideas or norms or mores or whatever you want to call them are still being applied to men, and then quite often men then feel that that there's something is wrong with them, or you see issues of depression, you see issues of jealousy, you can have a lot of issues coming forward in these situations. But again, I think it is a matter that certainly, again, it comes to how we are raising our boys, how we're raising males, and how we are raising females, because you will find that there'll be a lot of females who will also expect this stuff. The man is supposed to take care of them. There was a funny video which I saw. Some young people, and they're asking them, they were just literally going around asking them, well, each person, so they met this couple, very young couple, they must have been in their, maybe even still in their late teens, maybe 19, 20, 21, very young, not married or anything, they were dating. And they asked them, well, how much do you have in your bank account, right? And the boy says, well, he has, I can't remember exactly, let's say he has $1,000 for argument's sake. And then the girl says she has $100,000 in her bank account. And the boy is like, you have $100,000 in your bank account? But then, and then she says, yes, well, my father gave me money and I have it in my bank account. Yeah. And so the boy is,
you should really need him.
So then the boy is, well, but so why are you making me pay for all these things? Every time we go out, you want me to pay for,
and you can afford. And
you can afford. And then the girl's response was, but you're the boyfriend, you're the guy, so you should be doing that. So, and then of course he got very upset because he couldn't understand, well, why is it that he is being treated that way? He barely has, but then she's expecting him to be the one to be paying all the time.
That's selfish.
And and you'll find that happening, caller. So you have a lot of situations where there is that expectation placed upon the male to be the one who's paying or bringing forward for the household.
But do you know, the older generations, unlike people like my grandmother, although they were housewives and the men were out there working, but almost all of those women were doing something to bring in a little change. They would be selling maybe what they call the blocks, they'd be selling tax.
Oh, yeah. Quite often.
Something to bring in some money to the household to help the man.
Right. They were the treasurer. Sometimes they're the ones controlling the money. If they were not controlling, or they were controlling the household money, the money that had to go towards taking care of the food and the children, and they would work quite a bit. And so quite often we see in the agricultural sector, we think of the farmer and as a male individual, but quite often the females were just as active.
Because when the man falls short, they would have some money hiding somewhere to assist him. Yes.
So it's a very interesting conversation that you've raised, and it's a really good one. That it's a conversation that we would love to hear some views on people's views as to how things should move on regarding that. But unfortunately, we have no more time for today. Have a good one.
All right, bye. Take care.
Have a good one. Okay, take care. Thanks very much, and of course to all our callers. And as you can well appreciate, there's quite a bit to talk about. We're trying to balance it all off. We can never do it all in one program. So we do hope that you can join us again tomorrow for another program of The Lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Enjoy your day and have a good one.